Hello, everybody! I have an important announcement to make before we get to the meat of the stream. So, you know how I started this channel to get enough worship to revive my dead demon dad? Well, since that was taking too long, I resorted to some more conventional witchcraft. A simple resurrection spell, but I think I totally bungled it. It combined the deadness of my dad with the living of me, and basically it whoop whoopsie doodle, it turned me into a ghost. That's all right, since there's honestly no point anymore in trying to get my dad resurrected. I might as well just do this stuff for fun, yeah? So today we're gonna be doing something really cool. We're gonna take a look at all the mega evolutions from Pokemon, and I'm gonna rank them. Let's get us started. First up, we have Mega Venusaur. Now, I'll say Bulbasaur was my favorite of the Kanto starters for a really long time. So, hang on just a tick. Hey, what happened? Okay, I know what happened now. I liked Mega Venusaur as an extension of Bulbasaur, but on its own, it's just not doing anything for me on its own. So I'll say B tier. Now let's see. Mega Beedrill is one I have an obvious is one that I already have an obvious opinion on, because even though I'm not a Beedrill fan, just a second, it's real. Okay, my sneeze totally died. I really like that giant abdomen that kind of looks like a push popsicle. And you know something interesting is the resemblance between Naganadele's abdomen and Mega Beedrill's abdomen. But that popsicle shape just jutting down is very cool, very powerful, especially with the shape of the upper arms. And the fact that Mega Beedrill gets 2 more arms is really cool. Especially, and the red eyes that wrap around, a really nice point of contrast. One thing I will say though is that looking at this art, I did not know the stinger was light yellow instead of gray before until now, and I think it would have been just a touch better if they went all silver for the stingers. But I'm gonna put A tier. Now, I do want to talk about Mega Starmie. My partner and I, sort of like a guardian demon situation. I used to be like blood boilingly upset over Mega Starmie, but then my partner pointed out, hey, it's the original Star Walker. You know, the original Star Walker? And that just made it funny. That just made Mega Starmie funny. Although I don't like that barely anything changed, but now I can laugh about it instead of getting like super freaking mad about it. So I'm gonna say Mega Starmie is D tier. Now Mega Mewtwo. I'm going down the line in terms of ones that I have an active opinion on, and then later getting into the ones that I have less of an opinion on, just to speed up the process a bit. I do like Mega Mewtwo's feet, and I have the nostalgia attached with the Mewtwo who I caught in Pokemon X and Y. I named it Fallen Leaves after a song. So there's the nostalgia factor, and like I said, I really like the froggy feet. I like those ridges along the hips. That'd probably be a really enjoyable stim factor to have. The tail is cool, and I like the big shoulder blades. I will admit that they look rubbery, but that's probably kind of the point. But Mega Mewtwo X doesn't actively get to me. So I'm gonna go with B tier. Now, Mega Mewtwo Y, I was there when Mega Mewtwo Y was revealed, and everyone was like, oh, is this Mew 3? And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did it. But of course, we all now know this is a Mega Evolution. I like the floating headband with the horns. I like the giant tail coming off the top. I like the really big forearms and the way that the legs attach to the waist, and kind of like a kid's toy sort of vibe. One thing I will say I'm not a fan of are the giant eggplant toes in the middle. And I don't think that this spike on the chest needs to be there. But Mega Mewtwo Y is pretty cool. But not even grabbing me as much as Mega Venusaur or Mega Mewtwo X do, so I'm gonna put them there. I'm gonna put Mega Mewtwo Y in the C tier. Now, Mega Houndoom. My guardian demon, Mephistopheles, really likes Houndoom. And I ended up liking Houndoom by extension. It doesn't, helping matters is the fact that Dark and Fire are my two favorite types. And for the longest time, Houndoom and Houndour were the only Dark and Fire type Pokemon. I really like the giant, nasty Zscair Ben 10 style skull here. I like the shape of the horns. The way that the tail went from a triangle end to like a split triangle end, kind of like a two-pronged fork, is interesting. I like the red nails, but I think that the brown in Mega Houndoom's design should have also been this sort of red. And I will admit, the breaking of the chains, while it is a cool idea on paper, it just doesn't have that like satisfaction of, it's like, oh yeah, someone's breaking their chains. Like, they don't look cracked or shattered or anything. They just look like someone was fiddling around in Blender and took a pie slice out of a cylinder. So I also must admit that I'm kind of disappointed they didn't go for a Cerberus thing, although that might just be because the popular idea at the time for a Mega Houndoom was a Houndoom evolution would be Cerberus style. And then again, gaining 2 extra heads does raise some questions, since this is a temporary evolution. I'm gonna put Mega Houndoom in B tier. Now let's move on to Mega Sceptile. Now I have a Pokemon Alpha Sapphire file that I did not finish, but I started with Sceptile. I like the progression of these colorful bulbs. I like the tree tail. I think it's really funny how the fact that Mega Sceptile can detach its tail led a lot of people to believe that there was a glitch, or a visual glitch, in the trailer where Mega Sceptile was revealed, because the tail just like disappeared from one frame to the next, and people are like, hey, that's not supposed to happen, but it was actually lore. I like these holes here in the horns, and how the horns themselves get a bit more emphasis. It adds some creativity to what is otherwise a pretty bland pass at horns. And also there's this typical Mega Evolution attitude of like, oh yeah, you think you can stand up to me? That is pretty cool. But I'm gonna go with C tier. C tier bordering on B tier. Now Mega Gardevoir. Mega Gardevoir is very cool. If you already liked Gardevoir, then this is probably a cool Mega Evolution for you. But if you were one of the people who were perverts about Gardevoir, then this is really the Mega Evolution for you. And I don't think I am uncomfortable with the energy I've created in the studio today. Mega Gardevoir sort of fell out of my favor. Mega Medicham. Why did they keep those lips? Very bad, very bad. Now, Mega Manectric. I kind of like the goofy cardboard, how it looks as if it's basically wearing a big cardboard cutout. But you don't, Mega Evolutions aren't really meant to be goofy. You get like most Pokemon with a Mega Evolution get only one shot at looking at being a good Mega Evolution, and good Mega Evolutions tend to be cool. They tend to be cool, not goofy. Let's see. Mega Bayonet, absolutely S tier. I love the little idle animations that they do. I love the pink claws coming out. I love the trailing of this this block of air, I guess. I like the concept of unleashing some sort of spectral, unknowable beast. And also I have a really soft spot for Shuppet and Bayonet by extension. And then Mega Bayonet is like, oh, this is a really awesome middle ground in between how much I like Shuppet and how much I like Bayonet. I will say though, I think that the Bayonet's horns and the spikes on Mega Bayonet's hands could have been emphasized more, because they look kind of they're just there. They're not really doing anything. They're bland. And I think that the spikes on Mega Bayonet's hips, I think it would be really cool if they were like pockets or something, just to add a bit more color to the main body. Next, we got Mega Metagross. I used to really like Mega Metagross because I liked how the arms just sort of like end up floating there instead of Metagross being on the ground. But I realized like that's basically it. That's basically it that I liked about Mega Metagross. So I'm gonna put Mega Metagross in B tier. No. A tier, but that's mostly because I like Metagross in general. Or, well, there was a point in time where I was like, oh yeah, my favorite Pokemon is Metagross. And that nostalgia factor is really helping Metagross out here. Next we got Mega Latios and Mega Latias. I can't even tell who is whom, but they're going in F tier. Above Mega Medicham, because they're not doing anything like offensive with their mouths like Mega Medicham is. But it's just like, did you even try? Now Primal Kyogre. Primal Kyogre scares the crap out of me. I think Primal Groudon does too. But they do look really cool. They're both gonna go B tier because they're good and I like them, but they scare the crap out of me, so I can't really like think about that. I can't focus on how cool they are without thinking about like the nightmares that I've had about them. Next we got Next we've got Mega Garchomp and Mega Garchomp Z. Really like the devious sight hands on the original Mega Garchomp. I like the teeth forming like a sort of waistcoat look. I like the shoulder pads. I like the maniacal expression. Mega Garchomp is definitely A tier. Now this one, Mega Garchomp Z is a bit of a downgrade, but I do like how the blades are all crimson and they are also covered with teeth. And I like how this is the second Mega Evolution to lose a type and not gain another type to fill that space. Like, Mega Garchomp becomes pure dragon, not dragon ground, which I think is cool because I'm always like, is Garchomp really a ground type? Like, it makes sense with Gabite because, like, oh, Gabite's a burrower, right? But Garchomp doesn't really seem to do anything with the ground type. Maybe there's some like, cultural context I'm missing. But yeah, Mega Garchomp Z is going to be in B tier. Next we got Mega Lucario, who I'm tired of being shoved down my throat. So I'm going to put in... The design isn't... I don't have much issue with the design, but it's like, why is Lucario everywhere? I don't like that Wolverine publicity thing. Now, by virtue of being new and not shoved down everyone's throats, Mega Lucario Z gets C tier. Not actively interesting to me, except for, I guess, the Hatsune Miku kind of, except for the hairstyle and the Hatsune Miku coloration. I really like these locks here. I like the locks. I like how the teal lends itself to some Hatsune Miku comparisons. But other than that, and by virtue of being new, I don't really have an opinion on Mega Lucario Z other than, oh cool, there's a different Mega Lucario here, yeah. Abomasnow is gonna be C tier because Abomasnow isn't I like the exploded puffball look, and I do have some nostalgia from using Mega Abomasnow to fight Wolfric in Pokemon X, but but other than the nostalgia factor and the big old puffball thing, Mega Abomasnow just isn't doing anything for me. Mega Gallade. I used to really like Mega Gallades. I really like Mega Gallade, kind of, because I saw the cape and the big slicing arm, and I was like, ooh, cool. This is a Pokemon who reminds me of Mephistopheles. But honestly, the resemblance isn't that good. Like, I used Mega Gallade as inspiration for a sprite that I submitted to Pokemon Infinite Fusion. And, that's it. It's kind of like it's almost arbitrary. But Mega Gallade is, like, cool, but not a way that I have feelings about. Now, Mega Frostlass. I'm glad we got Mega Frostlass, but why'd they pull in a Alolan Exeggutor with her? Mega Heatran. Now, Mega Heatran scares me like a tier less. Like, if being scary brought Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre down a tier, then Mega Heatran is, like, scary enough that they should probably be brought down a tier, but, like, Heatran is cool. That giant gaping mouth is actually really cool, and I like the more realistic frog proportions. Mega Darkrai. Mega Darkrai is S tier, no bones about it. I actually, when Mega Evolution was like first a thing, I came up with my own idea for Mega Darkrai, who is basically red with more hair and yellow, and it was blonde hair, and it was a dark and ghost type. Mega Delphox, not really doing anything for me. Mega Greninja, F tier, but like higher F tier than these F tier Pokemon because I'm just sick of Greninja. They didn't change enough that feels any different. I think they relied too much on the water shuriken as like a prop. And to be fair, they did that with Delphox too. But Greninja's got that Wolverine publicity and it's annoying. Mega Pyroar, definitely F tier for obvious reasons. Now, Mega Malamar. I already liked Malamar. You could say I liked Mega Malamar before. You could say that I liked Malamar before Malamar was cool. And I really like this theme of hypnotic supervillain, so definitely S tier. Barbaracle, Mega Barbaracle is kind of funny. I already like Barbaracle's design. You ever see that one video? It's like, well, what do we do about Barnacle's evolution? Give it a bunch of fucking hands. But what about the head? I said just give it a bunch of fucking hands. I like that Mega Barbaracle pushed that idea. Although the way that the really drastic change in the eye shape is gonna take some getting used to, but it's a small thing. It's just a small thing. Mega Zygarde looks bad. Mega Zygarde looks very bad. Mega Golisopod, they barely changed anything. But it's not like bad, nor is Golisopod like annoying me. Mega Magearna is pretty cool. I like the giant gears orbiting Magearna, and I like the concept of Mega Magearna going back to the original colors. Although that does present a problem if you manage to get the original color Magearna. Let's see, sprites. Huh? Well, they don't have images here, but Mega Magearna's color, Mega Magearna's, I'm thinking of the word. Original color Magearna's, see, like, nothing changes. This is the original color, and this is the Mega if you're not using the original color in the base form. Nothing changes but the color of the gears, and I think that's boring. That's like my one gripe with Mega Magearna. Mega Phalanx is cool, but I'm kind of over Phalanx. Because I was trying to hunt for a shiny one for years in Pokemon Sword, and I just could not get the Phalanx. I kind of got like burnt out. Mega Scovillain is a big yes. I gotta admit, I like how they tied into the Lex Luthor theming. And I already did like Scovillain. My problem was just like, oh, Scovillain's already so weak. Mega Glamora is different, so that's nice. Mega Zeraora is boring. Let me check. Did Zeraora get a type change? No. You don't even become electric fighting type? So that's so annoying. Mega Tatsugiri is goofy, but I think like too goofy, and has the same issue that a hypothetical Cerberus Mega Houndoom would have. And that's like throwing me off. I'm not familiar enough with Baxcalibur to even think that the Mega changes much. Let me take a look. This art for it is pretty good, though. I like the Aurora effect. Definitely more original posing than this art. But yeah, not a lot changes, except the only change that I can see is there's like very forgettable changes to the head, and then the sword is impaling the drag. Oh, the sword is impaling the dragon. That is pretty cool. Still bordering on still D tier bordering on C tier. D tier. Yeah. Still D tier bordering on C tier though. See? Mega Meowstic. Heck yes, intersex win. Although, you know what? No, although. Mega Meowstic doesn't grasp my attention particularly. I'm much more of a fan of Esper. But win for intersex fans. Let's see. Mega Absol, pretty cool. But then again, also like overplay. C tier bordering on B tier. D tier for Mega Charizard X. Mega Charizard Y gets F tier. Because I'm freaking sick of Charizard. But Mega Charizard X does look cooler than Mega Charizard Y. F tier, basically Mega Pikachu. F tier, basically Mega Pikachu. I don't think they wanted to try to make a Mega Raichu. I feel as if someone wanted to make Mega Pikachu, and they did, but then they got a heads up from the proverbial big dogs. They were like, hey, you can't do that. We've only got one Pokemon who we plan to be able to Mega Evolve without reaching her final stage, and that's Floette for lore reasons. You gotta make these Mega Raichus. And they were like, ugh, fine. Mega Blastoise is pretty boring, doesn't change a lot. Mega Pidgeot is super boring. And also I'm sick of seeing Pidgeot in the TCG. Mega Clefable is kind of interesting, but also doesn't really look finished. Mega Alakazam. C tier. Mega Victreebel. Really not my cup of poisoned tea, but it's not like, ugh, Mega Victreebel, ugh. C tier bordering on D tier. Mega Slowbro, also pretty boring, so like D tier, but not like actively disliking D tier. Mega Gengar is pretty cool. I like how the Gengar sort of becomes one with the floor. Mega Kangaskhan. So tired of seeing Mega Kangaskhan. And like, she was like so big. Remember Chalk? Remember the Chalk team building in VGC? That's why she's down here. Mega Pinsir is cool. I like the ability Aerialate because the devs knew, oh, you're really not gonna just run Aerial Ace on Mega Pinsir, right? But also Pinsir doesn't really have any other good stuff, so we're gonna give you Aerialate. Mega Mawile, I do like. It looks really mischievous. Like, oh yeah, that is a mischievous face right there. And I love the two gnarly heads. They weren't afraid to make them gnarly. Mega Gyarados. D tier bordering on C tier, but like in a boring way. Mega Aerodactyl. Not right on the border between D tier and F tier. Because like it's a really bad and honestly pretty lazy design, I think, but it's not like actively making me mad. Mega Dragonite. I don't understand. I don't really like the lore about it's like, oh, it swiftly defeats opponents as an act of kindness. Because I'm like, I understand what you're getting at, but it like there's also this nagging part of my brain that's like, what? Let's say C tier, because the confusion is on my part. Mega Meganium, they didn't change much, but it's pretty solid Mega. And Mega Feraligatr, I like the idea of resembling a previous, I like the idea of flipping on the giant mask and resembling Totodile, but I feel like they could have done it better. Mega Ampharos is, just really not that interesting. Mega Steelix is kind of cool. I find it nifty how in Pokemon Showdown, the idle animation for Mega Steelix doesn't loop all the way, because they just couldn't, there wasn't the frame where they could stop it, where all the animations of all the different things was synced up together, would just be too high. I like Mega Scizor, like those big snappy claws. C tier bordering on B tier. Mega Heracross is solid. Mega Skarmory. Now, I haven't seen much of Mega Skarmory. Let's take a good look at them. That's not a lot of changes, is it? I do like the gold, though. So, let's see. F tier, but if they had just tweaked some more stuff, it could have been D tier. Mega Tyranitar is going to be D tier, because I'm not a big Tyranitar fan, but I do like how the chest stands out as a face of its own. Mega Blaziken's pretty cool, but also is pretty oversaturated. What with like the anime and Blaziken mask. And it was like, oh, here's the mystery gift for a Torchic with the Blazikenite. And then you're going to wait 2 more, and then you're going to wait another game to get the Megas for the other ones. Good old Anchor Arms is honestly not that interesting when you get once you get past the meme. F tier, but inoffensive. And Sableye, Mega Sableye, D. The ability is a downgrade, and I do like that devious energy, but not a lot change. Now, Aggron's gonna be C. Aggron's gonna be C because I like the shoulder blades. I like the spikes. I like how this was the only Mega Evolution for years I like how this Mega Evolution went from Steel Rock to Pure Steel. Mega Camerupt. Looks like a fuzzy Roomba, and not even cool. Mega Sharpedo. Sharpedo is boring. Mega Altaria. Bleh. Chimecho, I don't really like the shrine imagery, to be honest. I'm just not a fan of, like, places of religion in general, because I was raised Catholic. That's why. Religion just, like, freaks me out in general. This is a good design, though. Going in D tier, just to assuage my paranoia at mentioning the concept of religion. Mega Absol Z. Pretty good. I'd say up there with regular Mega Absol. Mega Glalie. Whenever I saw Mega Glalie, I would always like imagine it biting my nose off before my head metamorphosized into a plant. And that was pretty scary. But Mega Glalie is like pretty cool. Like, it's like mediocre, but it's vaguely cool. D tier, bordering on C tier. The Blood-Soaked Crescent. D tier, bordering on C tier. I like what Roaring Moon did with that, but that's a Roaring Moon thing. The way Roaring Moon handled it would not be as cool if Mega Salamence wasn't first. Rayquaza, pretty terrifying. You could definitely have like a nightmare about those insect mandibles cutting into you. They are really cool insect mandibles, but also like Rayquaza is sort of like gaining Wolverine publicity on their own. I like the rainbows on Mega Staraptor and how it becomes a fighting and flying type, but Other than that, I'm just not like a big fan of Staraptor in general. Mega Lopunny is boring. Mega Emboars. You know what? I'll say C tier bordering on B tier. Mega Excadrill. I kind of like the funny clunkiness of those drills and the fact that they're red on the outside, but I'm not a big fan of Excadrill or ground types in general. Ground types are my least favorite. D tier. Mega Audino was a big disappointment. D tier. Scolipede is like in the middle of C tier and D tier because someone pointed out there's a lot of colors going on, so it kind of looks like it just kind of looks like a giant hand is trying to put Scolipede in a chokehold and not like a mega evolution. I do not like Mega Scrafty. The torn clothes aesthetic, I know that's the point of Scrafty, but I feel like it was really mishandled here. Mega Electros is kind of cool. I like the plasma energy. But I just don't have much of I haven't seen enough of Mega Electros to have an opinion. So like F tier, but like high F tier because it's mostly just like I don't have a lot of thoughts on Mega Electric. Mega Chandelure is pretty elaborate, and I like that. You're gonna go in C tier. Mega Golurk is I like Mega Golurk's design, but I'm just not a big fan of ground type. So you're gonna get high D tier. Mega Chestnut. Now, I used to be a big fan of the Chespin line out of nostalgia because that's the team I started with. And also, Mega Chestnut doesn't really rely on a prop so much as Mega Giratina or Mega Delphox does. So, I'm going to say C tier. Mega Dragalge's Pokedex entry says that it literally causes cancer, so you're going in F tier just because you scare the piss out of me. Mega Hawlucha, I think it basically looks like Hawlucha put on a Halloween costume mask for a wrestler. Like, there's no big change in colors or anything other than that mask, so I'm like, yeah, nah. Mega Floette, I'm gonna put an F tier, just because of a few factors. Her own body doesn't change. It's the flower doing the heavy lifting. I don't like that they were like, oh, this is a Pokemon who technically has a final stage, but who can Mega Evolve in this one. I know why. I know Mega Floette, Eternal Floette doesn't evolve. And also, and this string right here, this string of like diamonds, I don't want to say what it looks like because I will get demonetized. Mega Diancies, okay, I like the Monica Magica imagery. Mega Crabominable. Mega Crabominable is pretty cool. I'll say C tier, just because it's not really memorable. But Alola in general, Alola's Crabominable has not been treated kindly by Pokemon. So maybe with a little time, I'll more actively care about Mega Crabominable. And last is Mega Drampa. Oh, you don't become like electric type or something? That's really odd. Because I'm getting like major Sun Wukong vibes with these black storm clouds. I don't know what this diamond is for, what the symbol with the 4 diamonds is, but it reminds me of the diamonds from Steven Universe in a way that I do not like. But other than that, the design's pretty cool, but Drampa itself is pretty forgettable. So that's my Mega Evolutions tier list. And hope you all enjoyed the stream. It was nice to come back finally after that whole metamorphosis thing happened. But honestly, I hope you guys genuinely just like watching me. That's what I'm doing this for now. In case hopefully in the hopes that you guys will genuinely enjoy watching me. Now then, signing off, it's the ghostly freak of the internet, Cagliostro Cotard.